James Swanwick here. Welcome to the show, and I have some bad news for you. You have been brainwashed, and you've been lied to. And this conspiracy is robbing you of a clear mind, your energy, and the quality of sleep that you truly deserve. So let me just share something with you that you probably already know, and that is that alcohol isn't good for you. It's pretty obvious, right? But I'm going to tell you something that you need to hear, because knowledge is power, right? Did you know that the alcohol companies, the major beer, wine, and liquor companies peddling their product, have been selling you two big lies? And those two big lies have been causing your finances and your health to suffer. And if you've been seemingly enjoying even just one drink a day regularly, then chances are you've already fallen victim to these two big lies. And the two big lies are these. Number one, that drinking gives you pleasure. And number two, that reducing or quitting alcohol will be hard. So let's explore these in more detail. Number one, the first lie, that drinking gives you pleasure. Drinkers suffer the illusion that alcohol helps them relax, gives them courage, makes them more eloquent and fun to be with. In fact, it does the complete opposite. When you drink, you're not drinking for pleasure. You're drinking to relieve you of your alcohol withdrawal. I'll say that again. When you drink, you're not drinking for pleasure. You're drinking to relieve you of your alcohol withdrawal. While our rational mind may tell us that drinking is causing us harm and that we must stop, our addicted mind continues to desire to drink. Why? Well, because social conditioning, because the alcoholic drinks industry exploits us by feeding us false information about drinking. It tricks us with TV advertisements that portray happy, beautiful people having fun or acting cool and sophisticated, showing no signs of strain or anxiety, and enjoying all the pleasures that life has to offer. It creates the illusion that drinking makes you cool and intelligent and happy. It gives you a false sense of self-esteem. It creates an illusion that you'll be more fun, sophisticated, relaxed, happy, wealthy, successful, sexy, desirable, and athletic. Qualities that alcohol misuse, ironically, destroys. They create ad campaigns with Hollywood celebrities drinking tequila. They push the idea that champagne should be associated with celebrations, like weddings and anniversaries and birthday parties. They link beer to men and sports. They associate romance with wine over candlelit dinners. Who invented the idea that to celebrate you have to drink champagne? A marketing company behind a champagne company. Who says that you have to drink beer to watch sporting games? Well, the beer companies, of course. Who says that you have to have a bottle of wine over a romantic dinner? The wine companies. The ultimate irony is the temporary state of mind from drinking is a mirage that 100% will never manifest long-term in your life. And the truth is that you can enjoy all of those activities that I mentioned without the alcohol. You can live a life filled with celebration, joy, energy, and clarity without alcohol. I know you can because I've been doing it since 2010. There's some Hollywood celebrities as well that have been doing it for many years now. Now, you might not care for Hollywood celebrities, but just interesting nonetheless. Bradley Cooper, star of the Hangover movies and American Sniper. I actually interviewed him late 2000s when I was a film journalist in Beverly Hills, California, and I interviewed him for The Hangover, and I said, "What's your favorite drink?" And he said, "I don't drink." And I said, "What do you mean you don't drink?" He said, "Yeah, I drank too much. I hit my head on a concrete floor at a Hollywood Hills party a few years back, and I just stopped. I realized it's time to stop." And I remember thinking at the time, God, wow, Bradley Cooper doesn't seem like someone I'd want to hang out with. Because I was, a typical early 30s Australian guy who enjoyed a beer with his mates. Oh, come on, let's go have a couple drinks. So when Bradley Cooper told me that, I was like, whoa, this guy sucks. Now I'm in complete alignment with him. Some other actors or actresses, Blake Lively, Samuel L. Jackson, Rob Lowe, all of these folks don't drink. Jennifer Lopez doesn't drink. Joe Manganiello, it's a bit hard for me to pronounce. I had lunch with him back 2010 when the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl, and they were in LA for the ESPY Awards, and I was friends with the former owner of the New Orleans Saints, Rita Benson LeBlanc, and she'd invited me to attend, and we had lunch with Drew Brees, who's the New Orleans Saints quarterback, and the actor I just referred to, Joe Manganiello. And I'd only just started not drinking at the time. I think I was only about 3 months into it, and he told me that he hadn't drunk for some years, and so I was asking him over lunch about it, and he said, yeah, my whole life changed as soon as I stopped drinking. I got a role in... I can't remember what the TV show he was in, but he got a big breakthrough in a TV role. I don't recall, sorry. I don't watch that much TV. But he said his whole career changed when he stopped drinking. And wow, he looks amazing. If you just Google him, you can see he's pretty ripped and shredded. Who did he marry? Was it Halle Berry? No, it wasn't Halle Berry. It was Sofia Vergara, the Colombian actress from Modern Family. That's who he married, I think. The model Tyra Banks, DJ Calvin Harris, they don't drink anymore. If you're interested in politics, the former President Donald Trump has never drunk alcohol. Joe Biden, I don't think has ever drunk alcohol, or he may have and doesn't drink now. President George W. Bush was a very heavy drinker, but stopped drinking, I think, 30, 40 years ago even. All of these folks went on to do pretty significant things in their lives as a result of stopping drinking. The reality is that you don't need alcohol to be successful or beautiful, and no matter what the alcohol industry tries to sell you. And you do not need to rely on brute willpower to reduce or stop drinking. Okay? I mean, a lot of you I know, because I get comments, I get emails from people. I've spoken to tens of thousands of people since 2015, since I've been doing this. And I can't tell you how many times people tell me that they try brute willpower and motivation, and they succeed for about a week or two or a month, and then they go right back to the same level of drinking. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it till the cows come home, until I die. Willpower and motivation alone does not work. Motivation and willpower alone is ineffective. You must have motivation, willpower, and appropriate accountability in a like-minded group of other people doing it, a coach. It should be fun, and you should have skin in the game. And skin in the game means you invest in a coach. So yeah, you do not need to rely on brute willpower to reduce or stop drinking. It's time to blow away these illusions once and for all, so that instead of seeing drinking as a pleasure or support, you will see the true picture, that alcohol reduces your long-term happiness, drains your finances, keeps you foggy, keeps you storing unwanted fat, and feeling like you're merely existing in the world. Do you want to just exist, or do you want to actually live? Why you think drinking gives you pleasure is the first sip of alcohol that you probably ever had. Well, actually, let me come back from this. The first sip of alcohol that I ever had tasted really foul. My dad let me take a sip of brandy when I was 15, and I quickly spit it out and said, "Oh, that's disgusting." And when I had my first beer at 16, I thought it tasted like cat urine. Not that I've ever tasted cat urine, but I think you get the point, right? And I'm guessing that your first taste of alcohol tasted pretty foul too. But guess what? That's all it takes to trigger a lifetime drinking habit. Alcohol is a highly addictive drug, and it passes out of your system. When it passes out of your system, it leaves an empty, insecure feeling, like hunger. You interpret this feeling as, I want a drink, and you think that the only way to satisfy it is to have one. When you have a drink, the empty, insecure feeling is relieved, giving the impression that you've just got a little boost, and you then mistake this boost for pleasure. And so it's ingrained in your mind that alcohol gives you pleasure. But what you're feeling is not genuine pleasure, it's merely relief from alcohol withdrawal. As you drink more regularly, the alcohol cravings become more pronounced, and therefore the illusion of pleasure when you relieve the discomfort increases. To put it simply, the pleasure you feel from drinking is not the effect of the drug itself, it's the relief of your craving. And as we drink more, the lows and the highs get lower. Non-drinkers, however, don't have any of this discomfort in the first place. So the second big lie that we've been fed is that stopping drinking or quitting drinking is hard. Now, it is an absolute myth that escaping drinking will be hard and painful. So long as you're doing it, let me rephrase that. It will be hard and painful if you are relying on motivation and willpower alone, okay? But if we make it fun, if we design an environment where it's fun and simple, and you're in a like-minded group of people who are also doing the same thing, then as Charles C. Duhigg says in his New York Times bestselling book, The Power of Habit, change becomes possible. Now, the alcohol companies know that the harder you think quitting is going to be, the more fearful you will be of trying. So they deliberately continue to make drinking a part of our culture. I mean, the advertising is right there if we look. Here's a little fun game. Like, for one day, just notice all the alcohol advertisements you see as you go about your day. I mean, it will shock you. You'll see tequila advertised on billboards. You'll see beer on commercials. You'll see it's just everywhere. And it's always shining a big, beautiful light on alcohol. Isn't this wonderful? It's so great. Everyone's doing it. Come to the game, drink a beer, go to a tailgating party. Ha, 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 everyone's having fun. I mean, most of the people at tailgating parties at an NFL game, if you have a look at them just physically, wonderful, wonderful people, but physically, there's a lot of deterioration there. I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of big people eating poorly, eating lots of burgers and breads and Doritos and Coke and Sprites and beer, and they're having fun that day. But I don't pretend to know how they feel the rest of the time. But they're heading for an early grave or a lot of health problems later on in life. I go to tailgate parties and I just drink soda water. I love it. I used to go to USC games in California. My friends were big USC Trojan fans, and I would go there and go to the tailgating party, and they'd drink their Budweiser or Coors, and I'd drink my soda water, sparkling water, and had a wonderful time. I just wasn't consuming the attractively packaged poison. So quitting drinking should not be hard. It should be easy, and that's certainly what we try to make it inside of our Project 90 experience, which helps business owners, entrepreneurs, high-level execs, people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s mostly, some folks in their 30s. We give them accountability, coaching, support, and that's why we appear to have a 91% success rate of getting folks to at least 90 days consecutive alcohol-free. If you'd like to have a chat with us about it, go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule, and you can book a no-obligation 15-minute chat just to see whether this could be for you. There's also a link in the description of the podcast down below. It was great sharing a few minutes with you. I hope this was helpful. I'm James Swanwick, and I'll catch you on the next one.